Get your special sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This will be my full Deadpool and Wolverine review. The movie is out everywhere. Please go see it as quickly as possible because there's so much stuff going on. There's so much we have to talk about. There's so much that happens during it, so much in the way that it changes the nature of the MCU, the direction of the MCU in a good way. We will be talking about this movie for a while. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. It is Comic-Con week. There's a bunch of stuff happening this weekend. Of course, I will do videos for everything. Spoiler warning for this video because I will be talking about specific points in the movie. I did a non-spoilery review a couple days ago. If you haven't seen the movie yet, you can watch that video first and then watch this video. But I know one of the biggest questions people are going into this movie asking, is Deadpool going to be Marvel Jesus? Will he save the MCU or completely destroy it or save it by destroying it? The movie was designed to be kind of like Spider-Man No Way Home, but for all the classic pre-MCU Fox Marvel movies and other non-Fox Marvel movies before Iron Man 1. There were a lot of MCU references during this, but it was mostly about those classic movies. Sort of like Deadpool No Way Home. Deadpool kills the Fox Marvel universe. And even though I don't think that Deadpool will wind up being the actual Marvel Jesus, if you speak in a more metaphorical sense, like even at the end of the movie, he says that he is not Marvel Jesus. This movie does go a very, very long way towards putting Marvel back on the right track. Like, it doesn't completely fix Marvel, like it's not a one and done kind of deal. They still have to stick the landing with Captain America 4, Brave New World next year, the Thunderbolts movie, all the way through Avengers 5 and Avengers 6 Secret Wars. Like, they have to continue sticking the landing. They can't just do it one time and then go back to the old dissatisfying movies. But probably one of my favorite parts of this movie is that it completely takes the piss out of Marvel right now, and all the old Marvel stuff as well too. That's kind of Deadpool's thing. He does that to pretty much anybody just in general. They even included jokes about the cash grab of it all, like Hugh Jackman happy to come back for the big bag of Disney cash because of his recent divorce. The movie actually references Hugh Jackman's divorce in real life, which he was happy to do. Like, right before the movie came out, he did announce that he was getting divorced in real life from his partner that he'd been with for a long, long time. To be fair though, he probably did get a big bag of Disney cash. That's why you've been seeing them do so many campaigns, those funny videos for the movie with other brands. Speaking of which, thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this week's giveaway. It's one of the biggest mobile games in the world that's totally free to play. Currently, Raid is holding a special event you can participate in from July 17th until August 17th, giving away a bunch of free stuff. Download the game using my QR code on screen here or down in the description. Go to wefinallyplayedit.plarium.com, enter your Raid ID, and upload a video of you playing the game to the landing page here with the Plarium filters and hashtags. Vote for your favorite player submissions, and the one that gets the most votes will win a ton of prizes, including a handheld gaming console. They wouldn't tell me which console they're giving away, it's supposed to be a big secret. The other prizes are a drone, a VR headset, and Amazon gift cards worth up to $2,000. Everyone who uploads their clips and doesn't win one of those special prizes will also be automatically entered to win some special in-game loot for the regular Raid game. And players have been waiting for this for over 3 years. Ninja, the legendary strong champion, is once again redeemable in-game. Totally new players can get him by downloading Raid for the first time using my link, entering the promo code Ninja Returns. I'll put it on screen here. Returning players can get Ninja through the loyalty program in-game. Just make sure to use my link, or you can use the QR code here on screen. You can also get 2 additional free epic heroes using the link they gave me. Once you register that code, you get Tyrell, a defense champion from the High Elves, and once you reach level 25, you also get the Rector Drath character, a support champion from the Knights Revenant. On top of all that free stuff, new players can also get this free rewards package to help you start out with 1 energy refill, 1 XP boost, 200k silver, and 1 ancient shard. And after you reach level 25, you also get those exact same rewards once more. Be sure to check it out, invite your friends to join your clan, and have a great summer of games. And even though I thought it would have been better to get this movie right after Avengers Endgame, I think having it right now, at Marvel's low point, they even call that out in the movie. He tells Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, "Congratulations to join the MCU, you're joining at a low point right now." They use every opportunity to clown on what's happening at Marvel right now, what's happened the past couple of years since Avengers Endgame. Kevin Feige talked about this phenomenon specifically during all the recent interviews, where he said one of the biggest things at Marvel is that they're able to actually laugh at themselves. Like, he didn't give them any notes about jokes that they could not use. That's why you saw all the Kevin Feige jokes, the Disney jokes, the Marvel jokes just in general inside the trailers. Kevin Feige himself even said that he had to have conversations with some of the other executives at Marvel and at Disney to explain what pegging was.
It's supposed to be scary. Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
But they still left it in the movie and still let it be a rated R movie, which I think could have potentially been disastrous if Disney had not let them do that. That was probably one of the biggest fears that people had when Disney bought Fox, and there are a lot of references to that as well too, some of my favorite parts of the movie referencing a lot of real-life events too. Early on, Bob Iger, CEO of Disney, said that they would be happy to let Deadpool continue to be rated R, and Kevin Feige reiterated that fact recently during the interviews. Even though he's meant to be in charge of all the Marvel creative, he still has to answer to Disney overlords himself, which they also do reference during the movie. In fact, with the success of this movie, I think it's supposed to do like $350 million worldwide opening weekend, which is why a lot of people are saying that Marvel is back, because the box office is also back too. He said the success of this movie is opening the door for more very hardcore R-rated movies in the future. The next rated R one that I know that they're actually working on right now is the actual Blade movie. There are many jokes about the Blade movie during this too, all the different Blade movies. Particularly Marvel's trouble in actually getting that new Blade movie made. Will there ever be another Blade besides Wesley Snipes? Wesley Snipes does not think so. Real great joke during the movie. Going into this, I knew that there were going to be a lot of references and Easter eggs, cameo scenes from old Fox Marvel movies, old X-Men movies in general. But actually seeing the way that they pay honor to a lot of those movies, I think was actually the icing on the cake. Like, it wasn't just cameos for cameo's sake, or clowning on a lot of the weaker old movies too, because there are a lot of stinkers in those old movies. Like, they have some bright spots, but there are a lot of cameos that they use from those movies in this new movie that help make those old movies seem better. Like, the jokes make them seem better, make the characters seem better too. The funny thing about that is that Dave Filoni did that a lot during the Star Wars Clone Wars episodes too, like trying to make the prequel movies seem better after the prequels came out because they got clowned on so much when they originally came out in theaters. Like, if you've ever heard Dave Filoni talk about the true meaning of the prequels, that's kind of what Deadpool does in this movie for a lot of those classic Fox Marvel movies. Speaking of which, the original Wesley Snipes Blade movies, which Ryan Reynolds himself was also part of, which they also clown on as well, like, he never liked me. The MCU just in general would not exist without the success of that original Blade movie back in the late 90s. It's like the godfather of the MCU. It would have been weird if they didn't try to have a cameo scene with Wesley Snipes in this film. I know there'll be a lot of questions about how that went down in the relationship between Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds because of all the supposed history and drama between the two of them on the set of those Blade movies, but we'll talk about that during my full breakdown and Easter eggs video. Apparently, it's all water under the bridge. There'll be a lot of talk about how dense the movie is with references, Easter eggs, jokes, cameo scenes, but I think the way they use the TVA to sort of bring everything together, crystallize all these different things that it was trying to do, help make the movie make sense. Like, it was the perfect opportunity to make this all happen. How do we bring Deadpool to the MCU while at the same time having a regular standalone Deadpool story that just works on its own without all the other references, but also incorporate all those old X-Men, other Marvel movies with those classic actors, giving them their own version of Spider-Man No Way Home? And they totally pulled it off, like they totally stuck the landing. I think a big part of that is how creatively involved Ryan Reynolds himself is with the writing of the actual movies and the character himself. I make the comparison to Robert Downey Jr. in the Iron Man movie, where he so completely inhabits the character that you kind of forget where the character begins and where the actor ends. And because the movie is meant to be as much a Wolverine movie as it is a Deadpool movie, which is why they're calling it Deadpool and Wolverine and not just Deadpool 3, the same is true for Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Like, he so completely inhabits that character that it's really hard to imagine anybody else being Wolverine. Kevin Feige even said after this, he doesn't have any plans to recast Wolverine anytime soon, meaning that Hugh Jackman will come back in multiple upcoming movies. Not just Avengers Secret Wars, but probably some other movies as well too. And because of the way they use the TVA, the sort of meta nature of bringing this all together, all these different aspects, they were able to use the movie itself to fix a lot of what wasn't working about the MCU just in general right now, which I think a lot of people were wondering about going into the movies, like, is this going to save Marvel just in general? The movie starts to do that by namely starting to move past the multiverse of it all. They even directly call that fact out at the end of the movie, saying that everyone has gotten so tired of the multiverse of all this. Can we stop this? Like, we've had enough. Just to address some of the complaints that I've seen of people coming out of the movie, there have been a few complaints from people that aren't super big Marvel fans, and most of the complaints are coming from non-Marvel fans. The fact that it's so laser specific in its references and jokes and so complete that you truly do need to have watched a lot of those classic Fox Marvel movies in order to get the full meaning of it all, like to get the full understanding, the full course. And if you have watched a lot of those old movies, it was glorious. Everything we could have hoped for and more. Cannot say enough good things about the next level action scenes in this movie. The fight scenes are amazing. It never feels like it turns any kind of CG mud like we saw during Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania. They take the fight scenes of the previous Deadpool movies and upgrade them in a really big way. You will never believe what they've done with Wolverine's fight scenes in this. He fights like you always hoped that he'd fight from the comics. Probably one of my favorite fight scenes, and this is actually a surprising one, is them just inside the car, just the two of them fighting inside that minivan. Probably one of the most creative fight scenes that we've seen in any Marvel movie before, just in general, including the Captain America Winter Soldier elevator fight scene. I would say it's on par with that. If you've been following the development of a lot of Marvel movies too, they also get into that stuff as well too. For instance, the Channing Tatum Gambit movie that never got made, that wound up getting canceled, or the X-23 sequel movie to Logan that never wound up getting made. So the bigger fan of Marvel that you've been over the last like 20 to 30 years, the more you will enjoy this movie. But on the other side of that, like this is where we address the complaints of all the non-Marvel fans. If you were going into this movie totally fresh, not having seen any of the other Fox Marvel movies, the old Deadpool movies, the old X-Men movies, or like older Marvel movies just in general, or even some of the older MCU movies, a lot of the movie might not make sense to you. And I do think that is fair, but I still think that even the most casual of fans, like if you just wandered into the movie and knew nothing about Marvel at all, like you'd never seen any of the Marvel movies before, you'd still find some of the needle drops and real-life references pretty funny. Some of the jokes are pretty on the nose, pretty overt, like the Disney jokes or the jokes about the Fox-Disney buyout, or you'd at least get the vibe of some of the things that they reference. Because this is meant to be a spoiler video, we'll talk about some of my favorite cameos, WTF moments from the movie. Hugh Jackman in the yellow suit, that was a dream. We've been asking for that for so long. Even if you haven't watched all the Marvel movies, Wolverine has been one of the most popular characters in comics for a long time now, but we've never actually gotten to see a live-action version of him that seems closer to the actual comic book version. And that's kind of the vibe of the MCU movies in general, trying to be more comic booky just in general. So putting him in the yellow suit was finally paying that off. And they have some jokes about that too, finally being in that suit. All of his cameos as the other versions of Wolverine on different universes were also icing on the cake. Some of them even reference stuff that they've done on X-Men the Animated Series and X-Men 97. Fun fact too, as the movie was coming out, there was also a rumor that they're working on an actual Hulk vs. Wolverine film. But I don't know what the timeline on that would potentially be. I would love to see that movie, but I still think that Marvel has some legal troubles with Universal when it comes to the rights for Hulk movies just in general. All the Henry Cavill Wolverine references were crazy. The Cavalrine, the jokes at DC's expense about them treating him so much better at Marvel than they did across the street at DC. Love them paying off those jokes too. That was almost like a John Krasinski, Reed Richards Fantastic Four kind of cameo scene in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, where it was this long-time fan rumor that people believed that he was going to be the next version of Wolverine, so they actually put him in the movie to reference that fact. Cannot say enough about Daphne Keane coming back as X-23 for her scene, and the fact that they leave her around at the end of the movie so that she can come back for more movies potentially in the future. I don't think that she's going to replace Hugh Jackman's Wolverine or anything like that. I know there'll be a lot of questions about what's going on with them in the future. Don't worry, I will address that during my future bonus videos. But her presence in the movie winds up being critical to the development of the new version of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine that he's playing during this film. It's not just a cameo for cameo's sake, like, hey, look at her. Cannot say enough about the Chris Evans cameo scene as his Johnny Storm Human Torch from the old Fantastic Four movies. We'd believed that he was going to be in the movie in some way for a long, long time, but what they actually did with him in the film goes way beyond my expectations, along with the payoff that they include for that in the actual post-credit scene. Love the Channing Tatum version of Gambit. I already talked about how they were paying off a lot of real-life things during his cameo scenes too, like wanting to be the hero that he never got the chance to be because ... they canceled his film after the Fox-Disney buyout. Even the Ben Affleck Daredevil jokes about his divorce with Jennifer Garner in real life, like, oh, he died, that's so sad, and she's totally fine with it, like, don't worry, it's fine, because they got divorced. Fun fact there, Ben Affleck actually did visit the set of the movie, which is why people thought that his Daredevil was coming back during the film, but he was just visiting the set with their kids that they shared to have fun because of her being in the movie. But it all works together, including the MCU Marvel references too, the jokes about the classic Marvel movies, actors, making them all seem like better movies in general, better characters in general. I'm gonna have to go back and watch some of those old movies again too after we make it through this weekend at Comic-Con. There's just so much happening right now, but in a good way. There'll be a couple times during the film where things will slow down a little bit and then speed back up, so there are a couple minor pacing issues, but the movie is just jam-packed. I would have been totally fine with like a 4-hour movie, which they also joke about during the film with Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool saying audiences are accustomed to longer runtimes, despite the fact that the actual runtime of this movie puts it on the shorter end of Marvel movies. One of the reasons why studios will do that is so that they can actually screen the movie more frequently in theaters and potentially earn more money from ticket sales because the tickets cost the same amount of money as the longer movies do, which they also reference during this film. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are going to make themselves some big bags of Marvel cash. I know there'll be a lot of questions about Sean Levy as director of the movie. He's done a lot of films with Ryan Reynolds previously. That's the reason why he did this film, because Ryan Reynolds just liked working with him so much. They work so well together. I will say right now, he did a great job at turning out a really solid movie on a very, very tight schedule. Like, there's a lot of moving parts here, a lot of complicated things, a lot of cameo scenes. He did a good job of balancing all of those things without losing sight of the actual story itself or the heart of the characters. That is why a lot of people are like, wait a minute, does this mean he's going to direct the next X-Men movie or one of the Avengers movies? I think that he's capable of doing something like that. Like, if he can handle all these characters, he could probably handle an Avengers movie, even though there are now rumors about Marvel bringing the Russo brothers back to do Avengers 5 and Avengers Secret Wars. Personally, I think that they're the safer bet just because they have that proven track record with Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, even the classic Captain America movies. But he did such a solid job with this movie, I think that Marvel is definitely bringing him back for some other movie. Maybe not necessarily Deadpool 4, because they're definitely going to be doing Deadpool 4 at some point now. Maybe not for several years, but they'll still do it. Just in general, the movie will leave you very hopeful about the direction of Marvel going forward. Like, the hype has returned. Like I said, though, there's still all these other movies that are coming out next year, the year after, like Captain America 4, Brave New World, Thunderbolts. Those still have to stick the landing. Like, Deadpool now isn't going to fix those movies in the future. But based on the Captain America 4 trailer, based on a lot of the changes that we've heard about behind the scenes, it sounds like Marvel has been on the right track. Deadpool and Wolverine, the movie, is just the first real big example of that. Like, we've actually seen it in theaters with our own eyes. It's one thing to hear that Marvel has started to turn the ship around, but it's another to actually see it in action. So if you haven't seen the movie yet and you did happen to watch this video, thank you very much for watching the video, but please go see the movie right now. Everybody post your reactions to the movie in the comments below. My post-credit scene video will post next, probably Friday morning at some point, and then my full breakdown Easter eggs video, which will probably have to be like 2 hours long, will post on Saturday morning. Real big reminder that the Marvel Comic-Con Hall H panel is going to be Saturday night. They're probably going to release like one trailer and a couple other real big announcements. I will do videos for whatever they wind up releasing. Congratulations to Dabba Ranks, you're the giveaway winner from my last big Deadpool and Wolverine video. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your contact details. Everybody click here for that post-credit scene video. I'll update the link as soon as I post it, and here for my full breakdown and Easter eggs for the entire movie. That'll post on Saturday. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.